Hey, this is Dave from Dave and Joe's Travels. It's a video of Stanley, the Falkland Islands. We stopped here in the middle of our 22-night South America and Antarctica cruise with Holland America's Oosterdam. We'd been to Bluff Cove Penguins in the morning, and we headed into town and started to wander around for an hour and a half and check out the local sites before heading back to the ship. Our next stop on the way was the Church Cathedral. Beautiful old building, built at the end of the 1800s, and the Whalebone Arch. Beautiful cathedral, great architecture, really interesting old building, and we went inside, had a look inside as well. Some nice old stained glass windows, beautiful old church, we loved it.
So the church was consecrated on the 21st February 1892, and some of the features of this beautiful building is that the tower has 5 bells, 19th to 20th century stained glass windows, a 2 manual pipe organ built in Ireland. Unfortunately, on this day, we didn't get to hear any of these. And this cathedral is the southernmost Anglican cathedral in the world. You can see we have the Whalebone Arch, which stands directly in front of the Christchurch Cathedral, and it's one of the most photographed symbols of the Falklands. It was erected in 1933 to commemorate the 100 years of continuous British administration in the Falkland Islands. It's made up of 2 jawbones from 2 blue whales brought from the Shetland Islands in 1922 as a gift.
After we left the cathedral, we wandered along the foreshore of the harbour. We noticed across the other side there were a whole heap of names that were written into the side of the hill, and we wondered what that was all about.
These names reflected military history, maritime navigation, early settlement patterns, and geographical features. They were also used for signalling, defence, and anchorage.
Our next stop along the way was the post office. You might think that's weird and funny, but we wanted to send postcards back home. We were curious actually to see whether they'd beat us back home. We still had another couple of weeks to go on the trip at this point, but we'd been told that it could take weeks for the postcards to arrive. Funnily enough, by the time we did get home a few weeks later, it had beat us home, maybe only by a day or so. So that was pretty cool. A lot of fun, and we just went in just to really check out whether the post office was any different to the way it is at home. And strangely enough, the lady that served us was a woman from New Zealand, which was even funnier. Anyway,
we visited the Falkland Islands Museum, which sits in the historic dockyard areas of Stanley. It tells us the island's natural, cultural and maritime past. It's a beautiful little museum which is run by the National Trust, a charity dedicated to preserving local heritage. The Antarctic Monument was unveiled in 2013 and it honours the men and women who lost their lives while working in Antarctica.
Next up, we visited the Liberation Monument, basically a monument to the 1982 Falklands War between the UK and Argentina. Essentially, Argentina had claimed the Falklands since the early 19th century, but Britain had controlled them since 1833. In 1982, Argentina's military junta, facing domestic criticism and unrest, decided that recovering the islands would boost national identity. On the 2nd of April 1982, Argentine forces landed in Stanley, quickly overwhelmed a small British garrison, and they were ordered not to harm civilians or British troops. While the UK went to war, Margaret Thatcher had sent troops, and the Argentine forces were quickly overwhelmed, and the islands were liberated and became again controlled by the British. After we left the monument, we started to head back towards the port to get back on the tenders. You see there the Penguin News on the left-hand side. There are a few sort of guest houses and restaurants down this end of town. That's the post office again, and that is inside the town hall. Across the street is the Catholic church there. And then a little bit further along was the police station and the prison. We were told when we were on the Penguin trip, there's 2 prisoners there that are doing 14 years, I think, for pretty serious crimes. Mostly they take in just like local drunks and put them to bed for the night. And then, yeah, back on the tenders and back to the Oosterdam. That was Stanley. So, Dave and Judge Travels, if you like what you see, please subscribe. We love it. Cheers.